The new UI from Dragonflight is here, and it has screwed up everything. So I'm here to make this emergency video to try and help fix up your UI so you can get back to the spot where you feel like you can actually play again. You don't get that cringy feeling where your whole interface is all jacked up. So I have taken off and disabled a lot of the add-ons that I have other videos on this channel about, and I will make future videos on whenever these creators update their add-ons and get it all nice and good. And I will show my new Dragonflight UI before Dragonflight launches, once all these creators can fix up all their stuff. But I wanted to embrace this default UI and truly go all in with this default UI, because everything you see here is default apart from WeakOrs, which is this little section right here is WeakOrs, which those will always be a thing. But this is a really cool setup as far as the feel of it goes. This health bar is for myself, target. Right now, apparently the target of target is broken, but normally I would put that right here. And here we go. I'm going to show y'all how to get this thing done. So whenever you open everything up here, you go to edit mode, because now options, it has a whole bunch of different stuff for options. It looks totally different now. Action bars is where you can turn on or off these action bars here, lock them, all that kind of stuff. And add-ons are where all your add-ons are now. So that does look a little bit different. But back to edit mode. This is the edit mode. Oh my gosh. And you can set up the settings right here. Always go to your profiles first. This would be your profiles. I have Dungeon Coach no add-ons right now. This is my one that I currently use. I'm going to talk about that at the end of the video. You also have the different presets here. If you want to change the delete them or change the name of them, you can do that all right there at the ends, but I'm going to keep it right on this. In fact, actually, just for the sake of this video, I'm going to make a new layout and do YouTube test is my new layout. I'm going to save it, and it is inheriting the settings of what I had already before I started it, right? So since I was on my Dungeon Coach no add-ons test, this is now the same. And if I were to create another one, it'd be the same. If I switched over to the different one and then created one, it would be these settings. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to go to the YouTube test just so I don't mess up anything on accident when I'm clicking through all this stuff. So collapsing these options now to show you the bare minimum here, because this does look like a lot, but trust me, I have everything turned on right now. If I were to turn off everything, you can see you can turn on or off. Now, whenever you turn these off, just for the record, it doesn't disable them entirely. It doesn't just take them off and turn it off from your interface. Whenever you back out of this, they still will be there, but I just want to declutter it for now. The first thing is the grid lines. You can turn these grid lines on and off. I like to keep the grid lines on, just keep things symmetrical, right? Grid spacing is going to be how big this grid spacing is. I usually like to have mine at 30, maybe 20, probably 30, and that looks like nice and keep myself organized. Snap is a cool feature where it actually snaps together. So this bar is action bar 5, action bar 4. Action bar 5, if I have snap on, it can snap together, and it also can snap to other bars. Snap is snapping to other action bars and to these grid lines up here. So you can actually put it right on the grid lines and it snaps to be even with that grid line. Now, I would recommend keeping snap on at first. You saw I just made a little adjustment there. I would keep snap on at first, and then after you're done setting everything up, you can turn off snap and then make some small micro adjustments. So there you go. Now, all of these things now, here are the different buttons. Every time you click on one of these, by the way, whenever you click on it, another options menu comes up. Sometimes intricate options, sometimes very basic. For example, the objective quest tracker is just how wide it is, how tall it is, and there you go. Okay, cool. The map also, as you've seen, I've turned off all of these options. There's no options now. Everything you see here are the default options, right? So minimap, the only option here you have is to put a header underneath or above the spot right there, and you can also choose to rotate the map. I hate that though, so nope. And you can always revert changes and set back to default. So there's that, and then the quest tracker right here, very simple. And then you always have your action bars. All of these are your action bars. This is my action bar 1. This is actually an important note here. Action bar 1 has different settings than action bar 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Action bar 1 is actually kind of limiting. As you see here on action bar 2, there's settings to where you can turn the bar. Hidden, out of combat, in combat are always visible. So if I back out of here, all the way, let me make sure I'll save. So as you see here, those bars that were just there, they're gone. They are hidden. Hidden means they're just always gone, no matter what. You can set it up to where they're always there, no matter what, or you can have combat conditionals, as I'm going to show you right here. This is my mount. You can only mount whenever you're not in combat. So this entire action bar right here only shows whenever I am not in combat. And as soon as I go over here and get in combat, it is going to go away. And these are the weak auras that pop up whenever I have this going on. But if I leave over here and get back out of combat, you're going to see it's going to pop back up as soon as I leave. Oh, and there we go. It's back. So that is a really cool feature, and I really do love that. Again, Domino's had that. Rest in peace, Domino's. Domino's no longer an add-on. Raven's no longer an add-on. I'm in a rough spot, but it's okay. We'll figure it out. This action bar 6, I have set up to be out of combat. So it's only going to show up whenever I am out of combat, right? And then if I do want to have something only show up whenever I'm in combat, maybe I have some bars I have up here, some cooldowns I want to put in some places, and I only want them to pop up when I'm in combat, then you can set up a bar entirely for that. It's actually pretty nice. So there we go. But one thing you notice is with the main action bar 1, you don't have that at all. Now there's this art on the side. You can turn off that art. I am turning off the art, just especially for where mine's placed. And hide bar scrolling is this little number on the side where you can manually scroll. I definitely don't want to see that either. I wish I could hide this entire bar, but they are forcing you to have an action bar on the screen and not be able to just go full weak auras. Because normally I would go full weak auras and then have everything there and customize that. I have whole videos coming out for how to do all of these things. But anyway, I have set mine down. You can scale up the icon size to be absolutely massive. The default size, I feel like is actually a little big. Maybe it's the same exact as classic, but I've been using my own interface for a long time now. So I have mine down to 70%. That feels fine for this. You can change the number of icons that are in the row. I have 8. You can expand it up all the way back to the default 12. You can change the number of rows, so you can have it be whatever type of shape that you want, and the orientation to be horizontal or vertical, although I don't see why this is needed because you could set that up with this. But anyway, and there's everything for action bar 1. But again, action bar 1 is different than the rest of these action bars. That's why I've put mine here. I have my tanking cooldowns here. Any sort of big cooldowns are here because I always want to see them in combat, and I'll see whenever they refresh and recharge. But that's a whole other video topic. So these things right here, these are your normal action bars. I already talked about the bar visibility. They always have the same things there. Always show buttons shows the outline of the buttons. So even if you have something in there, it shows like the little boxes all over the place. I don't like the look of that, so I keep that off. Your player frame, you can lock the cast bar to be underneath your character, and if you click this, it permanently locks it in there. So if I click this, you're gonna see once I show all this and you see the cast bar is now locked. I usually have my cast bar right here, but the cast bar, if I click this, locks it underneath your character, so whenever you move this around, it stays with that. So it stays right there. Let me put it back. Okay. And frame size, you can increase the frames. Mine's a little bit larger. Again, because I'm a tank, I probably would have this smaller if I was just doing DPS stuff. But there you go. I'll turn that cast bar back off for now. And then this is the action bar 6 that I have set up. I have turned off action bars 7 and 8. If I did want to bring the action bars back, it's right here, action bar settings, and you can turn them back on, and there they are. You can see them in the background right there. But I don't need that many action bars for this character at least, and if I did need more, I would add more or make more weak auras. So anyway, now we're back to this. The one thing you can't see is chat. I have my chat frame here. I did not know this. This needs to be more clear. Normally how you can change the size of it is right here. This little blue button. You actually can increase the size of the chat frame, and this is the only way you can increase the size of the chat frame now, right? So I normally had to let me see how to, okay, there it is, and it's in a weird spot, right? So if you want to, I usually put this behind my little camera right here, and there we go, it's good now. Because if you right click this, the chat frame has 0 options. There's nothing you can do with the chat frame. So that's closed now. And those are the default things without any of this stuff going on. So now as I turn these on, this is my target and my focus target, right? That's where I can set these up and move those around. Again, same options as everything I've shown you so far. And I'm gonna start turning these on one at a time, and you can kind of pause the video and go with me and start organizing your UI alongside each other. Party frames are gonna be right here. I like them to be just a little up from my own character, off to the side. If I was a healer, I would pull these into the center, and I could make a new layout for a healer. And I will have a DC 6.0 healer and a DC 6.0 or 7.0 in the future. Okay. Raid frames are going to be up here in the far corner. Again, I'm a tank. I don't need to see them right that. If I was a healer, I'd move those forward as well. Because these will never be showing at the same time. You'll never have party frames and raid frames showing at the same time. You'll have either one or the other. So I honestly could set it up something like that. Let Let me move this. I could set it up something like this, and I could see my raid frame right there. So I'll actually leave that right there. So that works out for me. Stance bar is if you have any sort of stances or shapeshift forms or anything like that. I put that right here. Pet bar. I have my pet bar because demon hunters don't really have pets like this. I know we have a ghoul, but I don't play it holy. I have my pet bar right here, and I have it being real small because there's nothing going on right above my character. Buff frame is very important because these are the buffs, especially if you move anything or move the map or do anything like this. These buffs are very important, and they actually do have some options here. You can change the size of the buffs, the padding. Padding's going to increase like how far apart they are from each other. I just put that way down. I have my limit at 12. You can go further than that. If you click show full, it's just going to give you more buffs to show what it looks like full. It just gives you random buffs in there. That is very nice. Icon wrap means that it's going to take the buffs down and they're going to grow downwards, and the icon directions are going to grow left. So they're going to grow left and down like normal. So this is buff 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way through, right? And then also to go with that is the debuff bar, which is right next to it. And you can put them right next to each other. I have mine a little bit more centered and a little bit larger. I care a little bit more about debuffs sometimes than my buffs. So I'm going to keep those right there and do the same type of growing method. Cool, there's that. And then everything else with the stance bar. Stance bar has the same type of options as far as sizing and padding goes. Same thing with everything else. I will say for the party frames, let me go back to the party frames here. The party frames, you can change the width and height, and you can also sort by role. I like to sort by role because I always want to have the tank in the same spot, the healer in the same spot, the DPS in the same spot. Or you can do it based on the order of the group or alphabetical. I really don't know why you'd want to do alphabetical. But whatever. So then you can switch up all of those things for the party frames. And then the raid frames, raid frames, you can do the same thing with the raid frames as far as the orgs, sorting the groups, order vertical, all that stuff. So I'll put the party frames back here and done. Then we have the boss frames. These are like if you're ever fighting a boss or in PvP, I think these would be active in PvP. It should be the same. If not, Shadow Unit Frames has them be the same. But you can have however many bosses there are. If you're fighting a 3-boss fight, they'll all show up here, and these are their cast bars. You can have the cast bars be together like that or side by side. I think this makes a lot more sense and looks a little bit better, so I keep it like that. And I keep this up in the top corner. Really, now that I've moved the raid frames, I normally would have the raid frames right here, but now I could put this boss frame up even further, or I could just put it directly above so that they're at least stacked in some way. Cool. And now, HUD tooltip. This HUD tooltip, I use mouse tooltip add-on because this HUD tooltip, if you notice, whenever I'm mousing over stuff, oh my gosh, now it's fixed. This is another bug. Earlier, it was shoving it up to the top right corner instead of the bottom left because the tooltip should be in the bottom left corner. But if it's putting it in the bottom left, as I keep mousing over stuff, it does look like it's putting it in the bottom left. So maybe I will use this. But this is going to be the tooltip. It's going to be in that, I guess for you guys, it's going to be in this bottom corner in this corner right here is where the tooltip's going to be pulled down into so that you can move it wherever you want. I like mine to be right here so that it doesn't ever overlap or clip or anything like that. You could centralize it more if you wanted to. Cast bar is, I have the cast bar. I don't want it to be part of my unit frame, so I'm going to unclick that option because I like my cast bar to be in the center right there. Cool. Encounter bar, this is, I usually pair this with the extra action bar. So this is whenever you have like you pick up an item or you're doing some sort of event or thing and you pick up an item and you have an ability that comes up, that is this thing right here. It's going to probably show up right in the center. We'll see once we get going, and you can move that around here. Encounter bar is some sort of, you're you jump into a vehicle, you have some sort of thing going on that you have extra abilities that you normally wouldn't have. That's all right here. So I like to put that right here. A lot of my interface, there's some stuff I have going on in this area with my weak auras, so I want to put that a little bit higher. Okay, cool. I could even see myself putting it a little bit further up, but I'm going to leave it right there. Possess bar is an interesting one. Possess bar is whenever you get possessed in some way, or you get in the same way jump into a vehicle or become another creature type thing, so I put that there. Talking head is whenever you get floating combat text, where they show cinematic stuff. So I'm going to put this, as you see snap, you see how it overlaps right there? I don't really like that. I'm going to turn off snap, and I'm going to put it right there. Turn back on snap. Cool. Vehicle exit button, I like to have be right above my character. Just put it right there. Cool. And then arena frames for PvP, I put right there. And in general, I would also probably, this will be disabled anyway because you should be using Gladius or something along those lines. So there, loot window, in the options, you can set up to where you change your loot window to where I have it set up to where whenever I loot, it shows up where my mouse is. So this is taking off that option. If you deselect that option, then you can put the loot window wherever. So you loot something and it always pops up in a certain spot. I like it to be where my mouse is. So there we go. There's my user interface. Now, if I back out of this, sure, I'll save. I back out of this and I have my target and everything's cool, and I'm good to go. So if I wanted to, the one thing I will say is if I wanted to with these, if I wanted to go back and turn these to where they're always, actually, if I'm out of combat, I think that's what I had these set up like this. But I just really like whenever I make videos and stuff, I don't want to have these be showing all the time. Also, you see this is not even now, so I'm going to do that, and now we're back to even. So save that. So now these are always here, and these are my key bindings, A through mouse buttons. These are my mouse key binds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all that kind of stuff. So I have them right there, and I can see them. I can pick them up. I can mess with them. Also, as you can see, I just pick it up and then I put it back, and you can see it's still there. It is a bug. It does not take it away. So my A ability, I'm taking my A ability off and I'm putting it back, and it just bugs out and doesn't show it. And then now these are back. And if I take this off and put it back, now that's back. It's a bug. I'm sure they're going to fix stuff like that, but it doesn't change anything, so we're still good. And now whenever I enter combat, these are going to go away. I kind of like that. It's pretty smooth, but for myself, whenever I'm making videos or something, I don't want to be walking around and have all of these things there. I just think it looks cluttered. I don't know. Let me know if you guys think that would be nasty, but I don't know. This is kind of rough. And this experience bar, you cannot take it away right now. This is a reputation bar, but it's something that hopefully they will add in to be able to move and shift around. But there we go on that. Now, if you're interested in any sort of fixes to this UI or how to make your UI the same as it was before, I'm going to show you this right now. So I'm going to go to my add-ons and I'm going to turn back on some stuff. There's Dominoes, rest in peace. I really think that they should still have Dominoes back because I really think that the user face should have a mouse over. If I mouse over, I should be able to see this. I don't want to have it always there, but I want to be able to mouse over it and see it. I think that's huge, and I don't know why. I feel like it'd be such a simple thing. If they're going to delete Dominoes, just anyway, I'm getting upset. Okay, so add-ons. Another thing is Khalil's tracker is a little bit broken right now. Khalil's tracker replaces this. It makes it look a little better. You can customize it, make it purple, and have it be more interactive in some ways. I really love Khalil's tracker. They are going to be updating things for Dragonflight, so check them out. And then mouse over tooltip. I actually might keep this off because the tooltip is actually working how it's supposed to in that bottom right corner. So I'm going to leave that off right now. Pratt, I really don't care about that. The new chat's actually fine. Quartz cast bar. I might even leave Quartz cast bar off because I actually like the cast bars of what this new thing looks like. See that? That's the new cast bar. It looks pretty sweet, and I even like how it kind of shakes whenever it's red. I think it looks pretty freaking cool. I really do like it, so I'm gonna probably keep that as well. Quartz might be dead to me. Raider IO, cool, and then I also Raven buff bar. I think Raven is better than these buffs, but they are not updating their stuff anymore either. Sexy maps I do like, and shadowed unit frames I for sure like. So that's everything cool. I did just make a video last week on all of my all the add-ons that I use. The only difference now is that Dominoes and Raven are dead, and I'm gonna wait until a little bit until all the dust settles with everything, and then we'll be good to go. So now I have this new setup. You see there's a bar here now. Some things are messed up. You see my health bar. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go to the edit mode, and I'm gonna switch it over to the 6.0, which this now is the interface that I'll probably be using. Oh, this is interesting. This has popped up over here. Action bar 8 is popping up, so I got to go to action bar settings and then turn off action bar 8. For somehow that got turned back on. Interesting. Anyway, so this is now the UI. I think it looks pretty sweet. I do have these turned off, which I can see at least here. I can't access them or mess with them, but I at least can see them if I move something like that. But these are all disabled. I could have them turn on in combat. This is that action bar 6, the action bar 6 where I have a bar. It's doing the thing again. The action bar, there we go. The action bar that only appears whenever I'm not in combat, and whenever I enter combat, this goes away because this is my mount. So I do like this. Weak cores are going to be all here, and my health bar is here with shadowed unit frames. Shadowed unit frames also lets me move my target over here, and then my target right there. I think that looks pretty clean. I think that looks cleaner than having the big huge bar with the big circles that show your character and stuff. I mean, I don't, and then, oh, my cast bar. Actually, perfect. I got to turn the cast bar back on, which I did with Quartz. So edit mode and cast bar, and you see the cast bars right there. So that should be working, but I think I just got to disable Quartz again. Anyway, so this is the user face that I'll be using with shadowed unit frames, and I kind of move some things around it. And if you go to the options, if you go back to the edit mode here, you see everything's going on. You can actually, oh, whoa, this is, oh, the stance bar. I got to move the stance bar, which I'm a demon hunter, so I probably really don't care where the stance bar goes. And then the pet bar I usually put here, and the stance bar I'll put there. Cool, and then we'll just save those changes for this. All right, so that's kind of where I have everything going. And it all fits, it all works, and that's what I'm going to be going forward with everything else. If you are interested, I am going to thank you for staying this long in the video. Thanks for subscribing, maybe, who knows. But I am going to take this no add-on setup here that I used in this video, and I'm going to export it, share it, copy this clipboard, and that will be in the very, very bottom of the description. I appreciate this is a new channel that I'm starting, and it's growing fast, getting good. I hope that I'm helping as many people as I can with this, because I sat down and I was like, oh, I was super stressed with all these different interfaces stuff. I see the trade chat, I see the general chat talking about, oh, I don't know what to. So hopefully this video helps with the new user interface setup. Comment and let me know if you want me to do the actual the options menu and do an interface with that, because there's a little bit of new options there, not too much. It's all pretty self-explanatory, but if you want me to make a video on that, let me know. I have tons more coming on this type of stuff to make your game more efficient and hopefully more fun. And check the description for this little string that I'm going to put in there right now. Hope that helps. Stay creative, think outside the box. Peace.